I got a sample of mud. This shed has seen better days. The lid is sealed shut. I can't open it. This could be useful. Hello again, Mr. Spencer. It's Joe and Frank Hardy.
Boys, thanks for helping me out with that rather uncooperative police officer back there. Please do come in.
Thanks.
Can I get you anything?
No, we're okay.
What can I do for you?
I don't mean to disagree with you, Mr. Spencer, but I really don't think Officer Riley was being uncooperative. Really, I think Mr. Spencer, well, the other Mr. Spencer, was putting him between a rock and a hard place.
Of course you're right. I guess it just hurts to think of my own brother being so quick to think I would betray him, especially after all I've done for him.
Why do you suppose that is?
Well, if I'm being honest with myself, I suppose I would say it's because he's so quick to turn on people himself, he thinks everyone else is equally capricious.
What do you mean, all you've done for him?
I'd rather not get into it. Suffice to say, we both had a rough childhood. I probably got off a little lighter than he did, but I threw myself under the train for him more than once. So the fact that now he seems to have forgotten or even forsaken what happened is upsetting.
So how's Lily doing?
I wondered how long it would take you to ask about her.
I'm just concerned that all this might upset her.
She seems to be handling it all right. I'm not sure where she got off to at the moment, but I'm sure she won't be long.
Is that Samuel's car near the front door?
Yes, that's his baby. He's had it since it came out, or nearly anyway. It was his first car, and he's never let go of it.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that old.
Joe!
Hey, I call him like I see him.
Your brother's right. It's a beautiful car. But in my opinion, it's more trouble than it's worth. Sam loves it, though.
Thanks for your help.
Anytime.
Hello, Mrs. Spencer. I'm Joe Hardy, and this is my brother Frank.
Hello, boys. It's a beautiful day out today, don't you think?
I guess so. Do you think we could ask you a few questions about the theft?
By all means.
Can you think of anyone who might steal from Samuel Spencer?
Well, I might. I wouldn't have the slightest compunction about stealing from that man.
You realize what you're saying, Mrs. Spencer?
I realize full well. I also know that I am innocent, so I'm not afraid of drawing attention to myself, especially if it will call the dogs off of poor Thomas.
So you didn't steal from him?
Well, of course not, my boy. One can have a motive, but possess neither the strength nor the will to follow through with it. And anyway, when you think about it, isn't $200 million really a motive of its own?
I'll say.
What is your opinion of Samuel Spencer?
I suppose it would be impossible for me to convincingly lie about it. He's hardly my favorite person in the world. He is neither honest nor compassionate. I find him extremely disagreeable.
What about him upsets you so much?
Look, nobody's perfect. Some people are completely truthful in all they do, and this can make them seem harsh. Other people lie whenever it makes their life easier, and to offset this, they affect a sort of beguiling charm. Alone, either of these traits, while far from desirable, at least make the person tolerable to know. Samuel somehow manages to avoid being either honest or charming.
You think a person can be either charming or honest, but not both?
Oh, heavens no. There are many people like you describe. I simply believe there are many more who fail at either one or the other.
Has he lied to you before?
Very little comes out of the man's mouth that isn't a lie, or at least a distortion of the truth. His lies are often lies of omission. For instance, he told Thomas before we moved here that he required no rent or compensation for our lodging. Since we have moved here, he has essentially kept my husband as an indentured servant. When Thomas expresses a wish to pursue a career or prospects outside of Samuel's domain, Samuel makes him feel guilty until he agrees to drop his foolish whims for something more practical. Of course, practical in Samuel's view simply means that which benefits him most. Not a pleasant man at all.
What can you tell me about your husband?
Thomas is a dear. I had long given up on marriage. I just thought I was one of those people to whom it would never happen. It isn't easy for a single mother, you know. I had resigned myself to the life of a spinster, but then I met Thomas. How two people of such differing character as Thomas and Samuel could be born of the same woman is a mystery to me. Thomas has been the father that Lily never really had. Lily was already in her teens when we married, and you would think that would spell trouble for him or her, or all of us, but he is such a tender and loving father to her that she couldn't help but be grateful he entered our lives. Thomas would never steal, never. I can tell you that with all the certainty in the world.
Can you tell me anything about your daughter?
Lily? Oh, she has been strong and resilient, as the young often are. We've been through a lot. She's taken to Thomas so much. These accusations really upset her.
Can you tell me about how you came to Bayport?
Well, you are thorough, aren't you? I was actually born in Oswald, about 100 miles southwest of here. My family moved away when I was young, but shortly after my 17th birthday we moved back. I lived in Oswald until I met Thomas.
Thank you, Mrs. Spencer.
You're welcome, boys.
Hey, Phil. What you doing?
Sweating. The darned air conditioner is on the fritz for the 4th time this year, no less. I can't stand working in this ragtag computer lab. Next year it's sea sail or bust.
Honestly, Phil, it isn't even hot. Aren't you overreacting?
Look, I can deal with a little heat, but our school has such a meager comp-sci budget that our computers can't. Look at the Nexus. It's an antique. It has aluminum heat sinks. What's the matter, Bayport? Can't spend the extra 3 cents per cubic centimeter on copper for your children?
Whoa, what are you on about?
The Nexus won't even turn on when it's over 75 degrees Fahrenheit in the room. It's a safety mechanism like a fuse, right? And it's quite clearly over 75 degrees in here right now. It must be at least 76.
What's the Nexus?
Do you go to this school?
I don't spend much time in the lab.
You must not spend any time in the lab. The Nexus is a dedicated terminal connected online to a global database.
Now, I might be a little slow, but that sounds kind of like this thing called the internet. You ever hear of it?
Well, the internet is a great source of information, but it's also a great source of misinformation. The Nexus is monitored so all the information it gives is guaranteed to be accurate. They usually give them to large universities and libraries. We got one secondhand, so to speak.
Hey, that sounds useful. Can you show us how to use it?
You haven't been listening to a word I've said, have you? It won't turn on.
But if the temperature drops to 75 degrees, it will, right?
I feel like a broken record here. Yes!
What is CSAIL?
The computer lab at MIT, where I'll hopefully be around this time next year. You can bet they'll have copper heat sinks, or liquid-cooled. Liquid-cooled.
Catch you later, Phil.
10-4.
I don't think anyone will miss this. This could be useful.
Hello there.
Oh, hi there, kids. Working a weekend just like me, I see. I'm Mark, the handyman.
Hi, Mark. I'm Joe. Say, pretty hot in here, isn't it?
You noticed? The darn air unit ran out of coolant, and of course we don't have any here.
Can't you just pour some water in there?
Can't use water. The heat'll evaporate it. It isn't a closed system. Gotta use antifreeze.
Maybe we could help you get some.
Be nice if something went right today, huh?
I'll just take this. Could come in handy. Fantastic. I'll just borrow it. A beaker. It appears it's nearly out of antifreeze. That's thinking outside the box.
Woo! You fixed the AC.
Yep.
I'll be. I guess this school does teach something useful, huh?
It might.
Well, thank you kindly. At least now we won't all die of exposure.
No problem.
I'm gonna go throw the circuit breaker. Be back in a bit.
Bye.
Hey, I think that's Iola over there.
Hey, Iola.
Oh, hi, Joe.
How's it going?
Could be better.
What's wrong?
Mr. Sachs, my AP chemistry teacher.
Ah, yes. Chemistry. Difficult stuff.
Not really. I have an A, but I'm shooting for an A+. He gave us all an extra credit assignment last week, and it has to be turned in by Monday. Nobody has even tried to do it. I think he just made it insanely difficult to get us off his back.
What is it?
He wouldn't even explain it. He just wrote, "Make me an aspirin and leave it on my desk by Monday," on the board and left. I know being a teacher is hard work, but I really don't think that was very professional of him. We don't have the tools at the lab to synthesize aspirin. And even if we did, it's incredibly dangerous. It's not fair.
Hey, I've got plenty of aspirin at home. You forget who my brother is?
That's nice of you, Frank, but he said make me an aspirin. I think it's the process he's testing us on, not the end result.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, don't be. I'm not mad at you two. I'm mad at him. He has no right to put me through this kind of anguish.
Is there anything we can do to help?
I don't think so. Thanks, though.
Okay, well, if you need us, just holler.
Thanks, guys. I just want to be by myself for a bit.
Aha! Pretty clever if I do say so myself.